I know.
Even Eddie Gomez, when I saw him there, he said, "There's not too many places like this left." He said, "This is really a great jazz club."
Yeah.
It's funky enough, and the sound is good. It's really perfect.
Yeah. Well, I went there with some people, woman from California knows my daughter, and I said, "See those pictures on the wall? Those people played here.
Yeah.
It's not just pictures."
No, those are all people.
She was quite impressed.
Oh, that was, yeah. Everybody played there.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if Miles played there. I mean, like the big ticket guys stayed away from those joints. You know, Miles in Chicago, I think the last time he played in Chicago was at the Plug Nickel, which used to be on Well Street in Old Town. Then recently I talked to a guy on the phone, Harry Schnipper is his name. Blues Alley in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
He is the worst person I ever spoke to in my whole, I'm 66, in my whole life. The conversation didn't even last 2 minutes. I hung up on him. I said, "Have a nice day, Harry." He was, there's not even a word in the dictionary for how condescending he was.
Oh, okay.
He was a real rat's behind. Man. It was a bad cat. See, now Joe is a little bit like a curmudgeon, but he's not like that.
No.
So that tells me one thing: he doesn't really love jazz. This guy was. I can't tell you how bad it was. It was so bad.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't strong armor. You know, or I was suggesting that he bring Doug out with those Gil Evans charts to work with college and high school bands, because he's got a organization called the Blues Alley Foundation. Well, first of all, the guy's a real estate developer, which doesn't mean he's bad, because when I played with the Basie band, Dempsey Travis, you familiar with that name?
Yeah, the name.
He's a very successful African-American real estate developer.
Right.
He was trying to reopen the Regal Theater. And that's why he brought the Basie band here.
Okay.
So those guys are not necessarily bad, but and Dempsey Travis is a great guy, but Dempsey Travis used to be a musician. Yeah. So anyway, real quick, so we can get to work. But a guy that I was in the Marine band when I was in the Navy band is a guy named Tom Lee, who became the president of the American Federation of Musicians, and now he's the executive director of the National Theater in Washington. So he heard me. The AFM hired me to play at some kind of a dinner they had, and I played solo piano. And Tommy just loves my playing. He really does, and he's a good player. But you know, and his gig, he might as well have had a room at the White House, because he was in a Marine band. He was always there, just all the time. It was like the house band at the White House. But anyway, he's gone on to pursue administrative stuff, and he's pretty good. He's a good guy. Anyway, he told me, he says, "Well, let me tell you about Harry Schnipper, you know." And then when I told him that, he says, he said, "You confirmed some of the beliefs." He said, "Yeah." So I told Tom, I said, "That guy is the worst guy." I told him, and I didn't make a big scene. I said, "That guy's a bad guy." So, you know, club owners are like anything else. It's like a doctor, or, you know, there's good ones, there's some you go, "Where did this guy graduate from?" You know, it's like, but Joe's pretty cool. But he's a little bit of a curmudgeon, but he's a pretty cool guy. He loves the music, and he's been doing it a long time. I mean, a long time. You know.
I know the 3 locations. I don't know.
There was one on Rush Street.
Rush, and then a Grand. And what was the other one? The one in the.
There was one in the Sheridan Blackstone.
Yeah, see, I never went there. I don't. Yeah.
This one is, in my opinion, is the best one that I know of, because the sound is so good. Well,
the other one was so long and narrow. I didn't like that part.
The one on the Rush Street.
No, the one on Grant.
Oh.
I don't remember, but if there are people talking, you've lost it. You know, you're too far away.
That's a great
Yeah.
Rome. Hopefully they'll preserve that.
Yeah.
He's getting some kind of national endowments for the
that's
arts award or something, or some kind of big thing at the Kennedy Center. So he's one of the guys, you know.
I hope it
And whenever
involves
he
money.
sees me playing, because see, I'm not a real highly visible guy because of my family.
Yeah.
I don't want to travel that much, so and he'll see me playing at some big fundraiser or something, and he goes. He looks at me because he hears Oscar in there. So
Yeah.
he likes that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he really does love it. You know, he goes, he looks at me. Do I know you?
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't spend a lot of time pushing myself. I'm one of those guys. You know, I mean, I just rather sort of stay in the shadows because there's a big price you pay for becoming famous. You probably have no life.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I know
Now that you got a history,
Yeah.
a short history lesson. So stay away from Blues Alley.
Okay,
oh,
Blues
man,
Alley.
that guy. Wow.
Okay. Well, I'm supposed to play time weights.
Yes,
And I'm
sir.
going to try to play it. This was a new last week.
Right.
I'm going to try to play it at 63. See what happens.
All right, so take your... Now, if it's too fast, then...
Well, we'll see what happens.
Just,
it might be.
Yeah.
But that isn't
Now,
63.
stay in that relaxed mode, okay?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. A nice bed up there. I don't know how to play that.
You want E flat...
Oh, D flat.
sus. Not a D flat seventh, though, just a D flat triad in the right hand. That's it.
And then this one makes no sense to me. What is that?
Yeah, just hit the F sharp minor seventh over an E flat, dump the E seventh.
And don't play that?
Don't play that.
Because it didn't make sense. I thought,
Right.
what,
I don't know.
Am I supposed to go? Okay. Anyway,
I'm thinking they meant to put an A seventh there, where the E seventh is.
that would make sense. Goes
Yeah.
to A flat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
I
anyway,
shouldn't worry about it.
No, I would just dump that chord. There's no way it sounds good.
But this was wrong. So the E flat I was playing wrong. 1.
Yeah, now watch out there. So when you play the E flat, don't play it A natural. Don't play it. Don't play it A natural in the right hand, in the left hand rather. You played it A natural.
And then
Just
in the right hand.
I would play just an E flat. That's it. An octave higher, another E flat. That's it. Because if you clutter it, it messes up.
Okay, I was
See
wondering
what I'm
about it
saying? Yeah.
because I was playing the whole thing.
Yeah,
that was too much.
That's not it.
2, and then like that.
Yeah, now what I would do there is dump the F sharp in the right hand. Just play a rootless chord.
Oh, I better write this down.
See, because that's another form of a suspension. But they're not listing it that way.
Okay, so
So,
time weights
yeah,
and
it's
okay, so E flat 11 is left hand E flat octave.
that's correct.
Right hand is
A
D flat, but
major
only the
triad.
triad.
That's right. Don't clutter it at all.
And
And then the next one is an F sharp minor seventh
seventh.
without the root in the
E
right.
flat equals
Same thing again. E flat
left hand
octave.
E flat octave, right hand A C
C sharp,
C sharp.
E A. Or if you want the E on top, you play E A C sharp E. You know.
Yeah, so this
The rest of it sounds pretty good.
yeah, that sounds a lot better
Right.
than playing this.
Yeah, no, that's a D flat seventh. Yeah. Okay, watch. Now that next one, That's
Okay,
it right
okay,
there.
so we got it's still odd. Okay, so
Well,
it's E flat. I'm just gonna play that, and I'm gonna play the triad.
that's correct.
1, 2.
That's it. That's what I would play there.
Well, that isn't so bad.
Right.
That's just like a major 7 or something. Okay. 2.
Oh,
And
E
then
flat. B natural. That's it. Pick up the 6th in both hands, though.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that.
Ba 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 ba. 2, 3, 4. Good.
Is this what I play? Da, da, da.
That's it. Excellent.
1, 2.
Now, this again, it's just whenever you have a sus, just play an octave in the left hand. No, that should
that's
be
gonna
an
be
A flat major
well,
triad in the right hand. That's it.
Like that?
That's it.
No.
That's correct. Did you play B flat though in the left hand or B on this chord?
Okay, that's when I was trying to remember. When you alter the chords, you alter them in the left hand, but this is a B flat 7, so you still play this.
You
In
can
the
play
left hand.
you can play the 5th, see, because the 5th is not altered.
But
you don't
this,
Yeah,
and then in the right hand, it's a flat 9. Then
that's correct. Yeah.
I should remember that. And then what do I play in the left hand? Still play
Just
that?
an F. See, anytime you have a minor 11th, yeah, but take it down an octave. Now play it where you wanted to play it. Okay, now the 11th
that's
would
not
be
the
B
11th.
flat. That's it. Yeah, but see here, watch this. See, when you have an 11th, they'll play to anything else but just the octave bass.
Okay,
It's
just
gonna
the
clutter it, right?
okay.
That's true of any 11th that you see. Just play it octave.
No, I
bass.
haven't been doing that at all. I haven't been doing that. Okay.
Okay, watch this though. Give me a B flat with it. That's it.
So that's what you play. Bum, bum, bum. What do we do there?
That's good. That's perfect. Now let me show you how that B flat 7 sharp 5 flat 9.
Well, isn't that
Right. Your best shot is to play root and 7th in the left hand and just stay away from the alto. Right. Now if you want to alter it, then you put an F sharp in there in the left hand.
or just
See, that's not too bad of a sound. It's still a little clutter. You know what I mean? It depends. See, every chord, it comes down to two things, Les. It comes down to if you want it dark or bright. And also, does it create tension or you want an open sound with it? And that's what you base what type of notes you play in each hand. So, on that B flat 7 sharp 5, that's how I would play it. See, I like that. Because if I put that F sharp in the left hand, it closes the chord.
and then
It's
muddies it.
unnecessary closure on a chord. Okay.
Is that's what I
correct.
did?
That's actually.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ba, 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 ba.
Okay. Really? Okay. what about that?
Yeah, you don't want
No.
the third in the left hand because you got the sus in the right hand.
Okay.
That's it.
Da, do. Now this is the part that didn't make sense to me.
Did you play an E on top?
I did.
See, that's really a sharp nine.
But then what about in the left hand?
That's it. That's how I play it. Okay. Is that a flat five or a sharp five? That's a sharp
It's
five.
supposed to be a sharp, isn't it?
Got it. You got it. Good. Good. That's a really good job.
I don't know where we are in the tempo, but
Pretty
not
close.
far, not
Pretty close. Not bad.
these aren't easy, but this one. What was that? This is what you wrote last week. F7.
Yeah. See, if you play a flat nine, flat five on a B7th, okay.
Okay, wait a minute. B7 flat.
No, just yeah. Now play the third and seventh. Okay. Just play the third and seventh. Right. Now the flat nine is C natural, and the flat five is F. So that's an F7th over a B bass.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's why I wrote it that way, because it's a little easier to understand.
I see.
Now that
That didn't stick with you. Told me, but it didn't stick with me. Okay, so I play that then.
That's correct. With the A on top, though.
Oh, the A is on top.
Right. So an F7th with an A on top. Well, see, now if you play it that way, the problem is you're leaving out the flat five from the B7th. That one's not a. No, you
I
want a
see
C
what you're
natural
saying.
low. You want a C natural low. That's it. Because this C natural is your flat nine,
Yeah.
and the F
Okay,
is your flat
and we're
five.
playing it over a B.
That's correct. See, now remember from tritone studies?
Yeah.
A B7th and an F7th have the same
That's right.
pitches for third and seventh.
Right.
So that would have been a hipper way to write that. But then, you could argue the point, well, that's a 2-5.
Yeah. F.
And an F7th is a 2-5 by other means.
Yeah. Except it goes to F
Don't
minor.
forget, when you play that B7 flat 9 or the F7th over the B, make sure you don't dump the C, because that's one of the notes you need. It's just a straight up chord.
Okay.
That's it.
It's funny. It's an F7, but it seems weird because I'm thinking of it in terms of B5.
Okay, good. Now here's what we should do with this. All right, we should go back. We should arpeggiate every chord 2 octaves ascending and descending using the original position that you played on each chord, out of time. Because your hands are a little stiff when you do arpeggios. I want you to start to relax your hands. See, what I did with, what really helps my younger students, I show them something. In fact, I was showing a high school kid this the other day. I said, I played, he has a solo on a section of the tune. So he played it, he played chord tone patterns, and then I played it for the sake of showing him one thing, okay? I played it about 3 or 4 times faster than he played it, like really quick. I said, see, those are just grips. My mind sees them just as grips, and then I execute from a grip position. Now you have the grip position, you have that. So your challenge now would be to, when you play an arpeggio, make your hands relax a little more, or a little stiff when you go to play an arpeggio. I think you're looking at it as something you can't do when actually you can't. if you can play the chord that quickly, because there's some tricky stuff in here, and you nailed it. Now I want to go back and revisit each of those and have you learn how those would set up as arpeggios. All right?
Now,
Even
every
if
chord.
it's very slow.
Every chord.
Every chord. Out of time.
Was it rootless? So,
Yes. When,
for example,
yes.
first measure.
But here's how I want you to do it. I want you to do it like this. Watch this.
Oh, 2 octaves. You said 2 octaves. Sorry. Yeah, 2 octaves.
Take your time with it. See. Now, a very handy fingering. No, don't. Yeah, here's what you want to think of. See, when you see this, that's your first chord, right? Think of it this way.
Really?
Yeah, that's the way to play it. You start bringing fingers over, you're gonna get all screwed up. See how that lays down for you? It's really simple, isn't it?
Well, then
So
you know
most of
you're
them are
going.
like that. Now some of them are not going to have the same note on top.
Yeah,
So
this one,
we'll take it one at a time. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay, so which way should you go, down or up?
You tell me.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Take your time now. Okay, do it again till it's real easy. That's it.
So that's
And
what I'm
then
supposed
go
to
back
do.
up again. Good.
Okay. Okay.
This is a monotonous study, but it really helps.
Well, it's supposed to apply.
Yeah.
Eventually, they will apply to other tunes, right?
That's
So-
correct. Now
so-
the next chord, play it how you played it. Yeah, put your thumb on the F sharp. Now you have to pick your whole hand up and put your little finger on D. That's it. So that's not a chord that has the same note repeating. That's it. And then go back up again. And then go up too.
Okay.
See, now that if you play that enough times, that literally becomes what your mind recognizes as a grip. You grip something and you play it. Okay.
Yeah.
This way you're not going, wow, I gotta play a lot more to figure out how this works. No, it doesn't. Not necessarily.
Okay, so the third one should be easier.
Yes. That's it. There you go.
Now, what do I do?
That's a good.
What's
I'll
the
take,
letter?
that's good for me. No.
No.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, it's an F minor. I gotta learn that.
Okay, what? Okay. Right. No,
No.
no D flat. That's right.
Okay, and
Then
then
we're going to
this
play
one.
each line, then we're going to go back and replay the line.
I don't know what this is. Is that-
Good. Now let's go back and play the whole first line again. Nice and easy does it.
I don't know what to do with
Well,
that.
I would keep the B flat as my top note. next line. Take your time with it. Excellent. The only thing is, now I'm being nitpicky. The G is
I was on G.
Yeah. But that, you're still getting it. Now let's stop for a minute. Now, does that seem like a rather simple process?
No, yeah, it is. It's just some of these are tougher than others.
No, I know that, but I'm saying it's not like you have to study in Vienna for 12 years.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the deal is, see, now when you listen to jazz or you hear guys play, you're going to start to figure out that's what they're doing, all right? The other element that comes into play here, it's in my book, I think on page 70-something or other.
I got it here.
Okay, do you have it? I think we've talked about this before, but let me make sure I get the right page, though. I can't wait to get to my second book.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I got this real desire to finish that puppy. All right, let's see. It's going to be a lot of work, though. Oh my gosh. Yes. See this here now. Let's go back to the key of C just for the sake of making it simple. See, this part, it's 113, I was way off. See, this is an important section of the book. It's called Fingering Secrets. All right. What happens is, right, now the overall chord that would be assigned to that particular instrument would be a C major 7. Now you'll notice that we played a chord tone pattern, a rootless chord tone pattern, and then I broke into a scale pattern. Now you want your third finger on that.
2, 3, 1, 3.
On the E, because you gotta come down to the B. Ba. Now, no.
No, wrong.
Just use 4. No, that's it. Now B. Now take your time. Now, the real issue with this is to realize that any chord you hit, there's an underlying scale that accompanies that, right? But this is to get you to hover over a whole octave by using a rootless chord. And then teach you how to finger it so you can take a rootless chord tone pattern and turn it into a scale pattern. That's what you hear when you hear, I don't care who you're listening to.
Okay, so this is the C11.
I want you to see the focus of what we're trying to do with you.
Okay, so this is an arpeggio. And that's a scale pattern.
Yeah, that's 4 bars of scale patterns. And make sure you get 5 on the F, because you're going to come down. Now, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now,
So then you're back to these arpeggios.
right.
Okay,
Right.
rootless arpeggio.
So what we're doing today is we're introducing your technique to playing just the chord tone patterns. Once you've established those grips, then we're going to train you how to play scale patterns whenever you feel like it, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You can play part of a chord tone pattern or the whole chord tone pattern and break into a scale pattern. And those, I can't think of a better example for that saying to the student that it's the same way as if you were trying to learn how to tap dance, except you're doing it with your hands.
Yeah, in other words, you got to be able to do it pretty fast.
Intuitively have to know where to go to make a certain type of sound. You see where I'm coming from? So that's a very valuable part of the book. Now, let's turn a few pages up here. I think I want to show you something.
I've never worked with
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep going.
So this is the same thing in E
I do
flat
it in a lot
and
of
E
different
and
keys
F.
to help out, you know. And then, yeah. Now, just keep going. I'll tell you when to stop here. Now, this is important too. But turn to the next page, though. Turn to the next page. Right. Now, right there. No, not that one. Turn one more page over. Okay. Now, this teaches you how to assume the position mentally and physically that, generally speaking, not every time, you can't say every time, but generally speaking, when you start a pattern on a given note, you're going to use the same finger that you used for the major scale of whatever note you played. So we'll go through this and you'll see it. Once you see that, it's called parallel fingerings.
Why is it called that?
Because they are parallel. They're exactly the same each time, except for this one. See it? It's all a C scale, isn't it?
So what we've done is, you have all these keys.
All those tonalities, but we're starting on C, and you're seeing that with the exception of this one, because there's a black note, you have to use the 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering. See, that helps a lot of people, because they go, well, let's see, in B flat, my second finger's on a C when I play a B flat, or my hold, my third finger, and they're stopping themselves. Just generally what it is whatever note you start on. For instance, play a G scale for me. Good. Now play an A flat scale starting on G. It'll be the same fingering. See? It's the same fingering, right? Play an E flat scale starting on the G. No, but start on G.
Oh, start on G.
Start on G and play an E flat major scale. Same fingering. See it? See what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Now, play a B flat scale starting on a G. Same fingering, right? Play an F scale starting on G. It's all the same fingering. See what I'm saying? Now, some people struggle with that, you know what I mean? Because they go, well, there's got to be a different fingering. No, there doesn't. All right, and when you see people like Oscar Peterson or anybody that's really slick, they've got this figured out. So they're not really thinking about it. They're just kind of like a tap dancer. You practice it so many times, then all of a sudden the guy's going with his feet. You go, what the heck's going on? You know, that's pretty weird. All right, now, then the final thing, because I want you to look at this over the break, okay? Because you're ready to break into more improvisation. I'm trying to give you something based on. This is an extremely valuable chart. Let's see if you understand what it's saying.
Okay. Starting note fingering rules for scale patterns. Starting note C, D, E, G, A, B.
Now, read what it says at the beginning of the chapter.
Okay, this one is normal. Sometimes it's A, but mostly it's A.
That's right.
Okay, then, and this one, and then some scales start in the second finger because of the black notes, right?
That's right. So you see this piano key sequence at the end? When you have a black going to a white.
Okay, E flat.
Black going to the white is going to be 2-1. That's all you got to be concerned with.
Black to white is 2-1. Then what?
Well, then, yeah.
2-1, 2-3.
Right. But see, I'm talking about getting you started. All right. Now, what about here?
Black, black, white.
Is 2-3-1.
Black, black, white.
See?
Okay.
Try it at A flat. Try it at A flat. See, it's always 2-3-1. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay,
Now,
white, white, black.
White, black is always 1, 2, 3, 4. F scale. Always black. See,
White,
G,
white, black.
a D scale starting on a G is white, 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 black. See? No, a D scale though, C sharp. No, play a G.
Okay, what are we
Start
doing
on
again?
G. Play a D scale starting on G. It's got two sharps. See that? That's white, 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 black. Now black, 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 white.
Which one?
G flat scale.
Black, 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 white.
What's the fingering? What does it say the fingering is? Now,
Okay.
see this.
Okay, I understand now.
This is very valuable because see, when sometimes guys get hung up, they want to play an idea. They say, "I can't feel it. I can't get my hands on it." And these fingering secrets will help you. So, I mean, you've heard me play. You've heard a lot of people play. When you hear us ripping through stuff, all that stuff is in operation at some point. You know what I'm saying? And then it becomes intuitive. You don't have to think about it. You just go there. It's like a trumpet. If you think about a trumpet, that's a pretty amazing instrument. You got 3 valves.
Yeah,
Just 3.
you're right, and all those notes.
All those combinations. Yeah. So it's like, what? Trombone's even crazier.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's like, what? French
And then
horn,
you
I
have to
think,
flip.
only has, what, 3 valves, or does it have 4? I should know that. But
3. I think it's 3. I don't know.
it's, yeah. So that's even a little
And then they
trickier
know,
than
what
you
you're
think.
saying is they know their fingerings.
Yes.
They have to.
Fingerings, yes.
And,
And here's the important thing. They're associating the fingering with the sound. See, that's where it really ends up. Now, so what we're doing here with this song, with playing these, so mark those 3 pages down. I think it was 113, 123, and 124 in your
yeah, I've got
or
it.
on your list, and start to study the whole chapter. It'll help you a lot because you won't feel like uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Now, it has the the left hand chords for hovering exercises. So now any of these can be changed to a dominant 7th or a minor 7th by changing the 3rd and the 7th. You know?
Okay.
Right. Okay. Now let's go back to the song and arpeggiate the whole song, and then we'll be done. And you'll have something to kind of sink your teeth into a little bit.
All right, so we are doing.
We're doing it on 2-octave arpeggio.
What about the left hand?
See, now I would be inclined to use my thumb on the F sharp in the right hand. Just pick your hand up. No. That's how I do it. Because it just, the other way is harder, a lot harder.
And what do we do here?
That's it. Excellent. That's exactly what we want. You're already doing it better. G sharp. That's it.
Something like that.
That's it. Take your time. See, that's a grip you're not used to yet. But if you examine that closely, that's just an A major 7.
Yeah, that's what I
it.
know.
There's a lot of cross.
That's called spelling, huh?
Yeah. Excellent. starting to rip through it.
Yeah.
That's what we want, see.
All right.
So if you're playing a tune, and you have, like, say that, let's look at just the second measure in the third line. You got time there.
Yeah.
So the one arpeggio. But then the arpeggio doesn't have to be like, you don't have to, take an aspirin or anything to play it. Just play it.
What did I do wrong? So on, huh?
Right. See, then you'll develop a system, and then after you play it a number of times, you'll kind of wake up and go, "Hey, I know where this stuff actually is." See, you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. And then the next step is to throw
play
in
it
some
in tempo.
scales. Well, in tempo.
And then yes, the next step. I mean, you can start working it out without me, but you might need a little help. But see, that's where those exercises, if you get hung up, those exercises on page 120, 113 and 123 may come in handy. Because you go, oh wait, I can just stay right here and play this,
Right. Okay.
Now the fingering, you could be potentially the greatest jazz player that ever lived. I mean, for real. And if you don't have a fingering system, you're done. Because you're going to hit a wall. You're just going to hit a wall. See, when you play jazz at a high level, people expect to hear things happen at a certain time. No matter how many notes you play. You listen to a lot of jazz players. Some guys, they play, but you go, there's something wrong. It's not coming out the way it's supposed to. Now, they're either not focusing on the rhythm that they're playing at, or they haven't figured out how to play it on their instrument. So what I do as a teacher is I try and give them the tools to help them get to that point. So what we've covered so far in this semester is we definitely taught you how to play at a tempo. I think you're aware of that. Because see, I was watching you play these arpeggios. Those arpeggios had a tempo.
Well, I've been trying to be strict about it.
Yeah, but see, what I'm saying is before you might play them and then stop.
Right.
See, but now you're actually in the part of your mind that says, no, we don't want to sound like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
See?
Even though it's slower than
it doesn't matter,
but
as long as it's correct.
Yeah.
As long as I feel like there's some kind of a rhythm. See, now it's becoming complete music. Now the skills you want to develop over the next couple of months is to play chord tone patterns, and then to become aware of the fact that right below what you're playing is a scale pattern that you can break into at any point in time, and that's going to make it more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're developing your own system of muscle memory. And that goes in levels too. You get a certain way, and then you go, I can manipulate this and still make it sound good, see? But you're not thinking of it as some kind of big hill you got to climb over, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like I can do that. Yeah. See, now I was fortunate because when I was young, this is true. There's nothing bogus about it. I used to go hear Oscar Peterson when I was young. Like 15. I mean, I was fortunate to be able to sit at the London House. It was a supper club. You didn't have to sit with binoculars. And I told you, I used to go there and they'd let me in. I was a kid, but they'd give me a club soda and they served food. So there was nobody was breaking any laws.
Right, yeah, it wasn't a bar.
So and I'd sit there and I'd come out of there going, I can play like that. I actually believed I could. Now, but see, the reason I believed I could is because I had been using this system without realizing it. Because I'm going, all he's doing, he's playing a chord tone pattern, breaking into a scale pattern. Look at that. And he did it so fabulously. But I say, well, if you can do it in 1 octave, you can do it in 3 octaves. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Yeah. See, so then when I started teaching, my students, which was a long time ago, they would say to me, you know, man, you're playing a lot of notes and you're not moving your hands hardly at all.
Well, yeah.
And I'd say, well, no, but wait. I said, no, you don't want to move your hands. You want to move your fingers. Then I had to step back and see what I was doing. That's where I got that documentation in the book. Because I was doing this sort of, as I figured, well, that's how you want to play this.
Yeah.
You know? And I was always taught as a young kid to play with a quiet hand. Always play with a quiet hand, no matter what you play. Because
not jumping.
Right. If you jump around in your mind, the piano's actually moving.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you were sitting and I kept going like this with your chair. You go, wait a second, man, just stay in one place.
Yeah.
See, the body works off of balance points no matter what you do. Like even when you stand up, if your inner ear is off, if you stand up, you're gonna fall over. Because as soon as you stand up, it brings everything. That gyroscope is working. See.
Yeah.
So that's true with playing an instrument too. So what you're finding is balance points now. So these grips are important because those give you a balance point to go to. So you can land there and execute. Land there and execute. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Now, why I thought I could do that, I don't know, but I did think I could do it. And I was 15 years old. I would say, well, I can play like that. I mean, I have to sit and do it, but I could do it, you know.
Did you talk to him ever?
No, I never got a chance to talk to Oscar Peterson. I wish I had. I was way too shy to go up to him.
Yeah, I suppose you would be.
As a kid, I was just that way. I would never approach some guy, you know.
Otherwise, you could say...
He would have been probably the kindest guy in the world.
Yeah, I bet he was,
yeah. But I'm just saying, I just thought, no, I don't even belong here, man. I just want to see how he's playing. Yeah. You know? In fact, in Old Town, when I was a kid, I was too young to get in the jazz joints.
Yeah,
and
they were bars, yeah.
I would stand outside, even in the wintertime, with my ear on the window.
Wow. And
listen to the music. Because we couldn't get in those places, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they'd have matinees on Sunday, you know, where we could go. And that's when I heard, first time I went there, I heard of Maynard Ferguson. Then I was fortunate enough to work with him later in life. And I went, holy shnikes, this kid's serious, dude, man. And then I heard a guy named Roland Kirk.
Yeah, I know. And
Roland Kirk used to play
my
like
brother-in-law admired him. Yeah, he played 2 at once.
And it freaked me out because he was doing circular breathing. And I was going, is this like a movie or what? I was sitting there. He never stopped to take a breath. And he's... See, that was great, man. But anything else, man, I had to listen outside. I'd stand outside on the street and put my ear on the window, you know, for miles, or even those organ trios that played down there, you know. See, that was a good time, though, because, you know, people had more closer access to these big stars. Even in New York, you know, you'd go down to Harlem, man, and there'd be 2 blocks of jazz greats, one club to another. Just tons of them. You know, now it's like you got to pay $75 and you get a seat somewhere in the stratosphere. Or
That's what happened to me. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. You know,
they don't want to play for the small amount. They want.
Well,
big
they
bucks.
probably do. Their management won't let them. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think those guys really would like to do that. Those club scenes. Yeah. Like Eddie, I could tell he was having a good time at the showcase when I went to see him. Yeah. And he's a famous guy. He's not just a average Joe.
Well, so he played with Bill Evans.
Yeah, he played with a lot of people, you know. Yeah. Played with Dizzy's band and played with Chick Corea.
Okay, so we come back.
I don't know when we
the beginning of the semester.
Yeah, but when is that? I got to find out.
Well, it's usually the first week in February.
Is that how long we're off? Holy smokes.
Because January is a term.
Yeah, it's J term.
And so they do the opera and all those other things.
It might be the end of January. I don't know. Maybe it is February. That'll give me enough time.
Since I'm not here anymore, I'm not up to date. But I will...
I'll find out.
You'll find out? Yeah. Okay. Okay, very good.
So have a nice holiday.
Yeah.
Be safe.